Exploring lives.
Because facts matter. You're listening to WCPT 820.
Driving it home with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez.
From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing asses says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
All right, everybody, happy, healthy, and safe where you are. I don't know if I should ask that question. Because usually I say I hope that you are, and I do. However, under the circumstances that we all live in these days, that's why I tend to say, please make sure you're staying hydrated. I want to add to that, are you breathing? I think that once in a while I forget that I'm not breathing. I realize I let out this like huge sigh or inhale because of all the stress. It's all so crazy. I did not watch the entire address last night. I don't even know. That wasn't like an address to the nation. That was a yelling at us thing. Like he yelled at us for 35 minutes, I guess. I didn't watch the whole thing. Briefly, it was on at a restaurant that I was at, and then they changed it to a football game. I think it was even a repeat of a football game, which everybody in the bar would rather watch a game that they know the outcome of rather than listen to that. It was like the world's longest run-on sentence. Holy moly. And basically filled with lies, almost like campaign style. And I don't know if you've seen this. In addition to that madness last night, and I don't know if it was just give him a bunch of Adderall and see how he does for 35 minutes, because you can see there were moments where where he's reading something. He's been told to read it exactly as it says on the teleprompter, and then he tries to do an aside, and then comes back. It's just and this is the thing that we talked about during the campaign last year, and the issue with how we message is that telling people what that things are great when they aren't for people on an individual lived experience level. And he was telling us that everything was great. And so I wonder how that lands. I mean, the more people are fundamentally feeling the impact of his policies, are they saying, yeah, everything's great? Or are they doing the mental gymnastics of, are you kidding? Start trying to figure out, still to say how much they love him and still think that, somehow it's a promise of what he's saying, that he's not saying it's actually great. I don't know what those steps are to, justify or reconcile the things that he says. So I really, let me know. I mean, if you watched it, 773-763-9278, that's 773-763-9278, because I wanted, somebody had to have, Dan Schaefer, did you listen to the whole thing or watch the whole thing? Because I'm very curious. And even the way it was set up was, there was kind of a tall mic, almost like big rally at a huge venue, sort of a microphone. Did it look like a sort of an old timey microphone to anybody else, or am I wrong? I'm not really sure, but it looked quite crazy. And again, since I did not watch the whole thing, I cannot speak to every element of what he said, although I'm seeing things about this Patriots game. I mean, essentially saying we're going to do a Hunger Games situation. Lady B, we can open the phone lines, but first, I think, let me see if I have you. Do I have you on my microphone? On my board? Hi, you. Did you watch this at all?
I can't.
No.
Oh, no. But I've heard little bit of it from the news and oh my God! What world and what planet is he on? I mean, doesn't he hear the cries of the people saying everything's going up? Right there tells you he's never been into the store. He never's been in there and put.
Of course not.
And put gas on the car or what's?
I know. There's no lived experience. No, and that's one of the maddening things is that, and that was the whole, it's the economy stupid, right? When Clinton was running against George W. Bush, George W. H. Bush, right? Was that Bush had no idea. There was that humanization that Clinton brought to that of, I feel your pain. Right. I mean, that was essentially, I feel your pain. And Clinton could get away with it in his style of speaking. And George H.W. Bush could not. Obviously, Trump. I mean, but it doesn't matter to MAGA that he doesn't have that lived experience, because he lives an experience they want to have. they want to be able to not care. So if he doesn't care, well, we want to be like him. And one of the ways to get there is to dehumanize people of color, trans individuals, women who decide when to start a family, how to start a family, what careers they go into. I mean, it's all those things. It has to be, it's their fault, it's our fault that they don't have that, that super wealthy, comfortable, or, I mean, like, obviously the goal of every single person is to not worry about where their next paycheck comes from or how they're going to feed their families or make sure their kids are educated and have access to health care, affordable housing, all those things. No, he does. Yeah. He just yells at us he just tells us it's better. And how is that? So MAGA, how is that different than when Biden or Democrats would, go down the path of like, well, actually, right? We try to say, no, inflation, compared to the rest of the world. And we tried getting into the weeds of it instead of like, I feel your pain. We didn't find I feel your pain situation with all of that. Carmen Navarre Gercone joins me in studio, guest co-host today. You look so festive. I love you've got the red sweat. I left you a glass of water this time. See what happens when I get here early. I know.
Listen, I told you we have to find our joy all the time, whether it's the red lipstick or the red top.
I agree. I did. That's my thing. I have a show called Lipstick Mom, a solo show that I've done, and it's about how putting on some lipstick for whatever reason brings me some joy, adds color to my face, and I feel like I can put my face out there.
Well, for me, it's generational trauma from my mother. We did not leave the house unless your hair was done, your lipstick was on, and you had your little hoop earrings in.
Oh, the hoop earrings too.
Look at even the size. It doesn't matter the size.
Doesn't it hurt when you put your headphones on?
No, it doesn't bother me. I'm used to it. I was raised with hoop earrings.
All right, then. I appreciate that. I was. When did you get? How young were you when you had your ears pierced?
Baby. We're babies. Even I did it to my daughters. It's right after they had their first shots. I'm like, okay, I guess it's safe to go pierce their ears.
How about you, Lady B? When did you get your ears pierced?
About 5 or 6 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you remember where you had yours pierced?
No.
Isn't that the weirdest thing to like go into? Like basically, I went to a department store and like somebody with a gun to shoot a needle into your ear to make a hole. Like it just sounds so crazy. Sears at Golf Mill Mall was where I got my ears pierced. Like I was 7 or 8 years old, I think.
No, I was
at the jewelry counter, I think. Yeah, they used to do it in stores.
Yeah, I know that. I know that when we got ours pierced, we were babies, but then I didn't wear earrings for a while, and by the time I started school, they had closed.
Yeah.
So my mom did the cold potato and ice pack with the sewing needle thing to open the holes back up.
I remember
and
that.
then leave the thread in and tie a knot, and then every day when we got up, tell me, Lady B, I am not lying. You have to move the string so it wouldn't get stuck. You wet it in alcohol, and then you move it around. That's how.
What?
Girl, we didn't play.
Yeah, no kidding. It was a whole process.
Yeah, it was a whole process.
Wow. I just remember getting I got it done. It looked like a stapler.
Yeah.
That's the way I remember it.
That's the way they do it now.
Yeah. Where do they do
Claire's.
it?
Claire's does it a lot of different stores. Yeah.
So I'm not wrong. It was at the department stores or Claire's, I guess. That's so weird to you imagine getting trained. You're just selling jewelry made in China. Oh, by the way, you also have to puncture the ears of children as they come into the store.
Well, the tattoo parlors and people that do piercings, they do the ears too.
Yeah, that makes. I'm not getting anything pierced or tatted at this point. Do you have any tats?
I do have a few.
Oh,
so that's why I can't yell at any of my children, especially my daughters. My daughters have full sleeves. My one daughter has a full back, full chest and stomach. She's got piercings. She says that's her therapy.
Okay. Is it I guess it's both, right? You have something for me, my new thing in the last 2 years have been these rings by an artist here on the Northwest Side. And I have to remember the name of the artist because that's terrible that I'll look at it during the break. But these are made from a necklace that was from an abusive relationship. And she melted these down and put these stones. This is a obsidian from a Mexican volcano rock.
Yeah.
And this one is a color like the turquoise without the color. This was from a man who threatened to kill me while we were in a relationship. And he bought this heavy silver, it looked like a dog collar necklace.
Felt like a chain. Felt like a yoke.
Absolutely. I'll show you that picture too. But I was going to just donate it. And someone said, you can't put that energy into the universe. You have to cleanse it with sage and all that stuff. And so then I was like, well, I don't know anyone that does that. guess I'll just keep it. And I was telling this story to the woman, our friend Lilia from the Jefferson Park Sunday Market, who runs Collective. They do all kinds of different, she's sort of a landing zone for artists.
Yeah.
And she said, I know an artist that can do something with that. So and you can see which finger it's on. They're basically like I made it. It's my,
yeah, there you go.
A few, I made it.
That's
finger.
right.
Yeah. So that, anyway, I wouldn't get tattoos. Long way to tell you that this is kind of like it is sort of my therapy. Like I remind myself that I've gotten through worse, right? That I was almost killed, that I was emotionally tortured for a significant amount of time. So this is temporary.
Yeah.
Sort of, this pain is temporary.
Yeah, that's why she says it's her therapy. She's got different tattoos. They mean different things to her. Her piercings are the same way. But yeah, and there's people now who take their daughters to get their ears pierced and their sons, but they go to like their doctor because there's like certain spots in their ears where
thicker cartilage and
or they get gives them like the pressure points. They don't want them to pierce pressure points, so they want to be careful that they're into that whole acupuncture thing. And if you go in the wrong spot, I'm like, oh, we never thought about that.
Trigger something.
I'm like my mother. Give me the potato and the bag of ice.
Lady B, do you have any tattoos?
Yes, on my back.
Oh.
And I used to have piercing on my tongue piercing.
What? Wow. How long did you have that for?
My tongue, I had it for a long time, but I took it out in 2016 when I had my first surgery. And my tattoo, I got it in 2018.
Okay.
I got it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I used to want to have a tattoo in college. In the 90s, it was like people would get like this, like a chain of flowers around your ankle. It's supposed to be like one of the most painful places to get tattoos. And I was going to get like lilies or something.
It's all painful. I don't know how I've done it, but I have more than one. But I was a grown woman.
I'm just going to show you the necklace.
I was a grown woman by the time I got my first tattoo. My children had tattoos before I did.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then...
That's amazing.
Yeah, because they love them. But I had gotten a tattoo. I have one on my ear. And I remember I didn't show my mom the tattoo on my back. Now, again, I was already married with children when I had tattoos. And I still didn't want to show my mother.
Yeah.
And I was working for the sheriff's office at a time. And they had me do an interview in Spanish. So they came in. I was in full uniform with my hat. And I did the interview, and my mom called me on the phone, and she's telling me in Spanish how proud she was at me. And then she goes, in Spanish, but then I took a closer look, and I see you have a effing tattoo on your ear. So she spotted it on the
ear. Oh my God.
So I thought she was calling to tell me how proud she was that she saw me on the, no, she was calling that. She was very upset about that tattoo on my ear. She got over it eventually, but she was, she was not happy.
That's crazy. Anyway, that's the necklace.
Cool.
But but
that is definitely a
dog collar. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's beautiful Mexican silver. And then I think the name of the artist is on. That was her page, because apparently she just wanted to see what she didn't know the story behind it.
Yeah.
The woman who sent it to her was like, just want to make this available, as I want to be able to, can we do something to melt this down? And so then but the artist wanted to see how it was valuable or not. And it was like $200, I guess, but still. It was a vintage necklace.
Oh, there you go.
And then when she found out, she pulled it down. Found out what the story was behind for my rings. Yeah, so I like these.
Those are nice. I like those.
Appreciate it. And by the way, Jefferson Park Sunday Market this weekend at the Copernicus Center for the seasonal Christmas pop up. Yeah, I'll be there from 9:30 to 1:30 at the Copernicus Center. Yes.
Oh, and
come see me.
Well, I have I'm back in an academy.
Oh, that's right. You train on the weekends.
And we have. I have my firearms training again this weekend. Last weekend was painful. I mean, I literally have.
How are you doing?
Yeah, no, look.
Oh, yeah.
It's a scab is off. Like this is. It's ridiculous.
Burned from some of the shrapnel.
Yeah.
And, oh my God.
Yeah.
There's an oil. I don't know if Lady B was able to use it, but there's an oil that I used healing post surgery that's really good for scars. I don't know if it's something.
I would definitely like to know what that is.
I will send you a link.
So I can't be there, but my daughters are looking for something, someplace to go. So Esau, Margaret, if you're listening,
Jefferson Park Sunday Market. This Sunday, it's the holiday. Plus, you can pick up presents because there's a lot of artists that'll be there. Some of your winter good. Obviously, our friends at Pride Coffee Roasters.
There you go.
Hi, Pride Coffee Roasters. Thank you so much for your continued support. support of the Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez show. You can go to pridecoffeeroasters.com and put in an order for a bean subscription, maybe some gay swag. And, they roast their beans to order. So as soon as you put the order in, they roast it and they send it right off to you. Whole bean, always the best way to go. But of course, not everybody has access to that. So we also want to let you know that you can get that, you can order it ground. And they also have their wonderful Resist Movement blend, because we drink together in solidarity. We drink this coffee, which is a medium roast, equal blend of our Dominican Republic and Arabica. I always get this wrong. Arabica Asia beans from, I like those. That's such a good blend. This is one I always talk about.
Yeah, I know. That's on my call.
No, it's a blueberry cobbler, chocolate malt, and warming spice. I'm just saying, it's delicious.
Blueberries.
It's a good way to start the day. Thank you to our friends at Minocqua Brewing Company. Go to Minocqua Brewing Company and sign up for their mailing list, and you can check out the great work that Ben Cominos just did. Of course, Kirk is writing essays. We also have the Up North podcast available on their Substack, as well as all of our columns. Go to MinocquaBrewingCompany.com. Coming in just a little bit, we've got Source Solar coming in studio. So go to Source.solar. I think you're going to love Warren and Peter. They're great. And go to Source.solar and learn more about them so you have your questions ready to go at 6 o'clock during our interview. More after this on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and KKNW 1150. Carmen Navarre Gercone in studio, guest co-hosting tonight.
You know that you can listen to Chicago's Progressive Talk on WCPT AM 820. Stream us live at WCPT820.com and on the TuneIn Radio app. Or you can ask Alexa, Siri, or Google to play WCPT from TuneIn. But now you have another option. We're simulcasting our programming overnights, 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. on WSBC AM 1240 for a clearer reception in and around the city. Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT 820. And now overnights on WSBC 1240 AM, where facts matter.
Hey Google, play WCPT.
Streaming Chicago's Progressive Talk from TuneIn.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk
or Pete.
Patti Vasquez is taking your calls now.
All right, let's hit it.
At 773-763-9278.
I got a lot to say.
It's Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue to drive it home. The holiday season can be very stressful, and I need it to be joyful. I need this to be as joyful as friggin' possible. There will be joy. Darn it! Be happy, everyone. Get excited! Yay!
Fake it till you make it.
Oh my God!
For Christ's sake.
Did you ever have that? Like somebody like we had. I'll never forget this. We had a motivational speaker when I was a freshman at Lane Tech, who did the. There's a song that I knew of that was sung by Bing Crosby. I'm sure there were other people that sang it. You gotta accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative. Yes. Yeah, and so he did his whole motivational speech on that, which I would love to do that. Actually, I might. Maybe that's
including the singing, because then
that might be a little bit.
I cannot sing.
And nor should I. There's literally a song called "Patti Don't Sing," which is both a statement of fact and a request. Patti, don't sing.
I was asked to do a fundraiser to see how many people would pay for me not to sing.
See? Oh, interesting. Oh, I can make a lot of money off.
Yes.
No, I think that people would like to see me make a fool out of myself. That's probably more likely. Yeah, look at you like, I can see that.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. No. Patti, earlier this year you promised a new jingle for your show. It never happened. Will you have one in the new year? Yes, I will have one in the new year. Not only that, but if you're familiar with the theme song, I am taking any sort of ideas that can be incorporated. If you have some lyrics, you can text them to us at 773-763-9278.
How fun is that?
Yeah, you can text in ideas for lyrics. I should open well, I think that's the best I can do right now, because Steve Goody asked me to send him ideas of what the man who wrote the song, performs the song. Yeah, he's ready to go. It's just on me.
I think that would be great for listeners to
even if it's just
how
topics.
they feel about the station, and
right.
Topics, just phrases, what they think about when they think about, oh my God, that would be hilarious.
Yeah. So 773-763-9278. If you have you can call or text. Texting's easier because then I can grab it and send them off to Steve for ideas. Maybe one of your lyrics will make it to the song and you can hear it every single day.
Oh, that's great.
I wrote that. You can be the guy. I wrote that lyric. That was my idea.
Yeah, that was my idea. They'll sing that part of the song really loud.
Yeah. I haven't worked out any, I can't do a contest at this point because I don't have that. It's not because we have a, keep listening because we have a Fry the Coop contest for a $30 gift card from Fry the Coop. However, I know that we have not yet sent them all out. If you previously have won the gift card from Fry the Coop, because I know we had a listener yesterday asking about this, we have not sent them out. We're going to do a batch of sending them out. So if you have not received your gift card yet, we'll let you know when those go out, and then we'll say, hey, if you haven't received them, let us know. We'll check our information.
Oh, that's very nice.
Have you had Fry the Coop?
No.
It's right here in our neighborhood.
I was about to say, where is it?
It's on Milwaukee Avenue, not far. It's Portage Park, so it's near Milwaukee. I want to say I don't know how far west. I mean, how far south, north of Irving Park Road. So it's not far from I want to say Chicago Costume. Where they over by there by the Portage Park Theater, over by there.
Oh, nice.
Let's get to some of our texts. So we got that one with the theme song. So thank you for the reminder. So about our ear piercing, I did my ear. Thank you so much, Andy. I did my ear piercings when my ears were frozen in high school. I froze them in high school. My mom used to say, "Don't pierce your ears until someone gives you diamonds to put them in," and then she had me pierce her ears. Were you putting diamonds in them?
I guess so. I guess she got her diamond earrings.
Can you wear any metal, or because I'm really sensitive, and it's not my way of saying I need 14 karat gold, platinum, or
well, if that's the way you want to say it, I ain't judging. I mean, just go ahead.
No, I when I was younger, I was much more sensitive, but I can put I can buy something at a farmer's market.
No, I don't have an issue with anything. Even that what people consider garbage doesn't turn my skin green. I've never had any of that reaction. I know darn well that some of the guys who've bought me gifts weren't all that great, the gifts. So I know some of that stuff would have probably turned somebody else's skin green, but they got away with it with me because I'm not sensitive to any of that.
I can't be sensitive to it, but I can use anything now. Let's hit the Jim. Jim is on the line. You're on with me and Carmen Navarre Gercone. I'm my guest co-host this evening. What's on your mind, my friend?
Good evening, Carmen and Patty. I didn't realize in 2024 that I had the opportunity to vote for a noted historian. Apparently, Trump is a noted historian, according to his press secretary.
What?
Yeah,
oh my God.
She said that today, that he's absolutely steeped in history. But if let's consider what we're up against now. Aggression is being tolerated in the streets of Chicago, tolerated in Ukraine, tolerated all over the world. Aggression, when it is not dealt with properly, it leads to really terrible consequences. And what he's doing in South America is insane, totally insane. You've got about 3 democratic countries there. The rest of them are going this nation, this worldwide dictatorship in Hungary, and now Italy is taking money away. They're stopping the Ukraine funding. When they had a scheme cooked up here, a tremendous scheme, they're going to take the Russian assets and give it to the Ukrainians to stop those missiles that Putin's putting out that are very dangerous. And she's against it, and of course Orban and Hungary's against it. And every other authoritarian in the world is against it. But what's strange about this is I can't remember a time in history when they all coalesced together, with the same philosophy. They seem to follow this 2025, this heritage, whatever it is, whatever is a disease that the Republicans have. They seem to be spreading around the world. And it's very distressing. And the point of it is that I've heard his professor, honest to goodness, Democracy Now! Last night. He was from Yale University. He said World War III could be right around the corner with Trump. And the truth is, think about the bomb shelters that Zuckerberg built, and I'm sure that Musk has. And are they doing it because they've got a premonition of a nuclear holocaust, or are they banking on it? Do they really think they can survive it? They might think they can survive it.
Oh, yeah.
And
clearly.
Yeah, but I'm serious. I mean, that's how strange the period we're in now. I wonder if kids realize that, what is happening in the White House. They have to be. I can't understand how you explain to your children what is going on here. When Trump, now think of this. You heard the Jones show today. The girl is a 14-year-old girl. Her mother had to go with her to Mar-a-Lago, and Marilyn Maples, who was his wife, she had to go to the woman and say, "Don't let me or my husband anywhere near your 14-year-old daughter." Now who would say that? Who in God's name would say that? I had a sister 14 years old. If anybody said that to me or said, I mean, the guy would be run out of town on a rail.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't believe they got away with this insanity. I can't believe it.
And they continue to get away with it. That's the frustration. You say insanity. There is no way to explain it to our children.
Exactly.
Carmen, no, you can't explain that, Carmen. I mean, my God, I can't believe that we allow. It's so repulsive. The whole thing has been so sinister.
It is.
It has got that sinister ring to it. Anyway, Carmen and Patty, thanks for taking my call, guys.
Of course, thank you so much. And to the notion of sinister elements, we are going to have with us in just a moment Professor Jen Golbeck. She's a psychologist and expert in the far right, online extremism, AI, and all the bad things on the internet. So we'll talk to her in just a moment on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and KKNW 1150 in Seattle. We have Carmen Navarre Gercone in the studio with us, guest co-hosting. Right back in a moment.
You are listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from the Weatherology Weather Center. Rain and snow showers continuing tonight, eventually changing over to all snow. Light accumulations, though. We'll see a low temperature of 14 degrees with west winds at up to 40 miles an hour. Brief periods of blowing snow are possible. Friday, sunshine with a high temperature of 28 and winds out of the west at up to 40 miles an hour. Saturday, a slight chance of rain and snow in the afternoon with a high temperature around 41. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 37.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
Joan Esposito, live, local, and progressive.
People who listen to WCPT, you are bright, you are interested, you are interesting, and you are well informed. It is a gift for me to be here, and I appreciate it every day. We obviously couldn't do this without you.
Joan Esposito, weekday afternoons 2 to 5 on WCPT 820.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
WCPT 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk, where facts matter.
Union Strong Chicago continues to lead the way with progressive values and in preserving democracy. Your support of the Minocqua Brewing Company Super PAC efforts in Wisconsin and beyond strengthens the fight against MAGA Republicans. You can now purchase progressive beers like Labor Lager, Love Wins Fruited Sour, and the Resistance IPA in Chicago at Rogers Park Provisions, Diversity Beer, Wine and Spirits in Lakeview, Park West Liquor, Wine and Beer in Lincoln Park, Logan Square Liquors, and Tip Top Food and Liquors in Westtown. Visit MinocquaBrewingCompany.com for all their Chicagoland locations. As always, no matter how bad our sports teams are, please drink responsibly.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
In just a moment, we're going to talk to Professor Jen Golbeck. I did have a question for our law enforcement expert in studio. I don't know how much you're following. I mean, we talked about the shooting at Brown University in which 2 students were killed and 9 others critically wounded who continue to recover. And they're, that's can't even imagine. And then there was a MIT professor, an expert in nuclear fusion and plasma, who was killed at MIT. And there are people like, I get that there are conspiracy theories, but then there's sort of this crossover of people in the media who we turn to for like the breaking news of the day. I'm talking about Aaron Parnas, who said that there's now this, I don't know if it's online speculation of tying those 2 things together, which is freaking terrifying. It's already terrifying that the shooter is at large.
Yeah.
Right.
And I guess that's the danger with social media nowadays and having things more accessible is that even if things aren't related, you have the ability to tie things together because all these stories are coming out at once, as opposed to decades ago when you'd hear about one thing and then you wouldn't hear about something till later.
Right.
And now they're like, is this the same person? Well, until they catch the person, nobody knows.
Right.
So everyone can speculate. I don't think the only ones who know or should know are the ones who spent too much time on the wrong person of interest.
Which can happen with various situations, right?
Yes.
Which is like, whether it's a need, sort of a need to catch somebody, right?
And a need to calm the community down right away.
Right.
Like in this
That makes
case,
sense.
they just wanted the kids to feel safe right away. And I think that's where that came from. At least that's what I want to believe, that's where that came from.
Right.
Hopefully
Sure.
it wasn't pressure from somewhere else.
That's the problem, right? Is that if there was
And
pressure.
that's my thing. If it was pressure from somebody else to say, no, this is it. This is the story we're putting out because we're great and we need to tell them we have somebody.
Well, and I think that was, people were talking about how much information came out so quickly, too, about the Charlie Kirk shooter and like things that we probably shouldn't have been privy to and information regarding that and misleading information, right? Like what was written on it's all just been crazy.
And that's why I say sometimes it's, in this case, too, how much pressure is being put on by the federal government on some of these things that are happening.
Did you see that the second in command of I don't know what the titles are for
He's leaving.
Bavino, not Bavino, but
No.
Bagino. I think there's too many.
Begnino? Begnino. I think it's...
He's a podcast. He wants to go back to podcasting. Okay. I mean...
Well, maybe he can qualify for a bigger job next time if he podcasts for a few more years. I mean, got him this far, right?
Well, it's just interesting that he went so quiet because he was screaming about the Epstein files. So, I mean, that's like a big NDA. Like, he must sign something huge to keep his mouth shut about that, right?
Yeah. And again, that's we make fun of other people and their conspiracy theorists.
Right.
But people like us, we have our own. Like, we know why these people are leaving and why they're not sticking around.
Right.
Or we hope that they have some form of, some sense of moral standing that they can't do this anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope. I pray they have some form of...
Bongino, I think is his name. So it's Bavino, Bongino, Bonino.
Yeah.
And you guys,
I can't pronounce it.
For those who are just tuning in and think that I'm making fun of names, those who listen regularly know, oh no, dear God, she can't get.
She just got Navarre Gercone straight, for Christ's sake.
Correct. And Peter Sarelas, I don't even want to tell you the mispronunciations that I did for several months because then I'll go back to making those mistakes.
Yeah.
It's a weird jumble in my head when it comes, and it's not, by the way, like if I'm reading something. It happens even if it's not just names.
Yeah.
It just happens occasionally.
I'm the same way. I give you grace. Give yourself some grace. It's not on purpose.
Do you find that you're not breathing regularly?
I find myself holding my breath a lot. We were just talking with everything going on. It's either fight,
yes,
run, or freeze. And I do find myself freezing,
yes,
with the disbelief of the things, like not reacting to things as quickly, even in anger, which may be the good thing. But yeah, I do find myself like
I'm not
stopping.
I am not good at leading anyone in meditation. I think that we can all agree on that. Okay, I'm a little scattershot. However,
you might have to have Lady B do that,
right? However, there was a meditation I found about like when you have that freeze to identify, take a breath and identify where you're feeling it in your body, to observe it, to sort of start to dissolve the immediacy of the fear.
Yeah.
So that's something that I've been doing. Yeah. I just sort of go, that hurts I'm feeling that in my chest, the tingling on the back of my arms. Like I start to be able to identify it. What is this fear doing to my body? Right. So you can sort of like slow down from being just because your brain is so powerful. So I remember the night that we were, the night of the election, and I remember trying to imagine, I wanted to be ready for what was going to come, but then I tried to imagine what was going to come, and I was absolutely paralyzed. So but like in moments like that, if I had to go back and like just, okay, where does that hurt? What is that?
Where am I feeling that?
Where am I feeling that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mine is tied to the closed captioning, which is my face. My husband tells me all the time, like when we're in the room, he's like, I'll get a text message from across the room, turn off your closed captioning. Because I might be saying, it is so wonderful to see you. But my face is like saying, are you kidding me? And so that's what I'm finding. Like, that's the difficult thing I have with the freezing, because I freeze and my face freezes in whatever it is I'm thinking in motion. Okay. So if I'm thinking like WTF, my face is saying it.
Right.
So even if I'm not, so I have to work on that right now more than ever, because I am.
Yeah, I don't have that. I don't have a poker face.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't work on
this. Is me saying, no, you don't.
No, you don't. You're not ready for. You're not ready for prime time with that face. I don't know. Oh, you know what? We have since we have a moment here, let's give away. Should I do it now or tease it? I'm going to do it in the next segment.
I'll do it now. Let's
do it now. I've already teased. So I have to tell you, yesterday we had our holiday party, and we had trays of Fry the Coop chicken tenders. I think I might have a few I can heat. I can send it home with a Ziploc bag, maybe. No judgment.
I eat them in the car cold. Dip them in. I love cold fried chicken.
Air fryer is my new friend. I never used an air fryer till this year. It's been fantastic.
I love it. Yeah.
But Fry the Coop chicken tenders are ridiculous. Their pickles that they have there, the mac and cheese, the sauce that we have. We have some of the sauce if you want to take some of that with you. Fry the Coop is Chicagoland's answer to hot chicken. The fast casual chicken shop brings the heat with its simple cooked to order menu, whether you want it crazy hot or no heat. Country Fry the Coop will satisfy your fried chicken fix. You can get signature sandwiches, including the Nashville hot chicken and cheese sandwich, Chicago hot chicken sandwich, donut fried chicken sandwich, and spicy butter fried chicken sandwiches.
Wait, like the bun is donuts?
I'm saying. These are the things.
No way.
Mm-hmm. I just started drooling.
Lady B, I see you nodding in there. I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Lady B. I mean, like, wasn't that? I mean, those trays. I got your mic. Those trays were ridiculous.
Oh my God! It is delicioso, mija.
I'm drooling, so I'm looking it up because now I got to see what it looks like. Like I made a picture in my head. Like I'm picturing like Krispy Kreme donuts as like the buns.
I mean, oh my God, delicious. So you can visit frythecoop.com or follow them on Instagram at frythecoop and find one of their 10 locations in the Chicagoland area open daily. Now we are going to take caller number 2. Let's make it easy for folks. 1, 2, and done. Contests running on WCPT 820 are open to listeners 18 or older and residents of the greater Chicagoland, Northwest Indiana area. 1 entry per person, 1 winner per household. Void were prohibited by law. That's prohibited. I said that word.
Yeah, you said it. Mm-hmm.
Listeners may only win or qualify to win once every 30 days. Complete rules are available on our website at WCPT820.com by clicking the contest tab. And I remind folks that have already won, we will be sending the cards that have already been won soon. So please be patient with us as we get those out to you. 773-763-9278. Caller number 2. I know the phone line's already lighting up, so get in there, say hi to Lady B, and we will have other opportunities for you to win a $30 $30 gift card to Fry the Coop. It's really good. When we take a break, I might go check and see
I'm looking at this sandwich with the donut.
I mean, lady, I think we have some mac and cheese if you want me to heat some up for you during the show.
This is ridiculous. No, I'm stopping on the way home. This is not. I didn't eat before. I made dinner for the kids before I left, but no,
dinner's coming home, hon. It's so good. I'm so glad they're joining us again and supporting the work that we do. So thank you to Fry the Coop. Follow them on Instagram. Visit one of their 10 Chicagoland locations. Let's take a break here. We'll find out who just won that gift card. Coming up at 6 o'clock, after the 6 o'clock news, we'll check in with our friends Peter Sarelas and Warren Preis from Source Solar. Talk about some solar panels on your house or business. And this is a good time to have these conversations so you can gear up for the new year and have plans in place to get solar panel energy to your home. And, we'll learn more about that in just a moment on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150 Seattle, Washington. We are in studio with guest co-host Carmen Navarre Gercone. We'll continue after this. I'm going to send you. I think I even have a little more. That's all. You're stopping. You don't even want to taste it.
I got it. I already have it all up and screenshot because I'm picking it up on the way home. I'm ordering it for pickup. Oh my goodness!
More after this.
A better life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
When it comes to losing weight, one word that comes up over and over again is metabolism. Now, people think it has something to do with how much food we can eat without gaining weight, says Dr. Kevin Hall. Hall is one of the world's leading nutrition scientists, and he told me that he finds it incredibly frustrating sometimes that this idea of metabolism is talked about as, if you take this supplement, you can boost your metabolism and you can lose weight. In fact, he busted 3 myths for me. Number 1, that people with obesity have slow metabolism. In fact, the opposite is usually true, he said. Number 2, metabolism slows down as we age. That's only true if you lose lean muscle mass. And number 3, a high metabolism is necessary for weight loss. In fact, people who have slowed their metabolism were often the most successful. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
This is WCPT 820, where facts matter.
Listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us as we continue to drive it home. Joining me in studio is guest co-host Carmen Navarre Gercone, and I'm just going through some of our texts. Congratulations to our winner who just picked up a $30 gift card. Again, and when you have won your gift cards, we're going to send them out in a batch. So I know it does. For some of you wondering where your card is, it will be coming, and if not, we promise to make sure we take care of that. I promise. I'll take care of it. I mean, not personally. I am one of the most disorganized people. Someone was telling me the other day, they're like, I can't self-generate discipline. Does that make sense? I need structure. And so I need to fix that. Like at 54, I should go, okay. Do you need like charts and, do you know what I mean? I just, like,
I do better when things are organized. Like,
right.
and I recognize that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I don't go out of my way
to make it organized. Right.
To make it organized.
Yeah. And I don't know, like, I remember when I went to the Marine Corps Recruit Depot in San Diego, I was invited as a media to participate in a whole week. And I remember like how much I was like, oh, I do really good when someone tells me where to be and when. I just do. And so that, like, I don't, and it also made me think about this, and this might be true for law enforcement, is that when you're not in that anymore, that change of like people telling you where to go, where to be, like it must be hard to untangle like how to not have someone tell you where to be. I mean, like a job is one thing, but you're still kind of left to sort of organize yourself. I wonder if some people carry that over from what they were trained.
It's a generational thing. So definitely those of us, born in the 60s and 70s, we've kind of always had that guidance.
Right.
And, spending 30 years in law enforcement, we're kind of like that. Or, they tell you what to do, when to be there, how to do it, and you're good with it.
Right.
So when you no longer have that, that's why they work all the part-time jobs. Like you have an issue, because you have to do it at work, so you don't want your wife doing it at home or your spouse giving you direction at home. So there's that battle.
Sure.
The younger people coming into law enforcement now, they weren't raised the way we were raised. So they've been able to have those conversations and choices growing up. They're not doing as well in the academy and being told what to do. Like, they want to know, well, why should I do? Well, no, that doesn't make sense. And it's like, just do what I tell you to do and do it now.
What a mess.
So you have these instructors in the academy, like really having a hard time with the new recruits coming in. So instructors have to learn a new way to teach this new generation of law enforcement. So it definitely is a little different.
Yeah, I would imagine that's got to be so hard to train. Because I remember asking, because the Chicago, and this is such a smaller, lower level element to this. It's just what I'm familiar with. I think that's why I thrived as a lifeguard. I like being. I do well with rules and like that are specific, and we have to be here and be there, at the specific time. Someone's like yelling. I'm not yelling. I don't want to be yelled at, but
no, but they're telling you what to do. Like even right now in the class, you listen. Why are you arguing? You have the easiest job right now. Just do what you're told.
I know.
Whether you agree with it or not doesn't matter.
Right.
And to me, it sounds so, and to them, it's like, no, we're supposed to question things. Like,
exactly.
That's how we make things better. And we're like,
yeah, it's
not always. Just do what you're supposed to do. Like,
yeah. And that was what I learned when I would ask about the Park District training for lifeguards, and they said we can't do it the way we used to because everyone questions. They've got cameras. They'll, and there's good things and bad things from that.
Yes.
Like there was a lot of hazing going on when I was trained, and they could however much that led to us being ready to follow orders like that in the military, right?
Yeah.
That's not a great balance either.
No, it's not. So that's why I said there's some good points to that, but there's also we take away. It's good to keep a little bit of the old and mix that up because you need to transition.
Exactly.
You can't transition if everything is new.
Exactly. Yeah. By the way, did you see any of the photos that came out of this Vanity Fair interview? Do you know anything about this?
No.
This is wackadoodles. So Vanity Fair apparently had access to the entire administration team, like with J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, all these folks, and Susan Wiles, who's chief of staff. You haven't heard about this?
No, I have not.
She apparently said that Trump has an alcoholic personality, that J.D. Vance is a conspiracy theorist, right? That Pam Bondi really flubbed the Epstein files. That and there was one more. Russell Vought is basically this right-wing extremist nut. And said this apparently, but then on top of it are the photos. You have to have seen this scrolling where it's Caroline Leavitt's lips.
Yeah, I've seen.
So they're talking about the photographer who is really quite. So it seems as though the photographer was also sending the message of, these are evil people. They're ugly. He basically showed them in really humiliating ways. There's one where Marco Rubio's kind of looks like he's like in timeout, and he's kind of like looks like he's about to bow in front of a lamp. It's very strange looking. Like there's one picture where I think it's maybe it's J.D. Vance, or there's like a light switch, like the most sloppy like background framing. There's one where Stephen Miller is like sitting down. You can see like his paunch, even though he's kind of a skinny guy. Like if you had a photographer who's like, hey, sit up, pull your jacket down, let me get the best angle. And it looks like this photographer just essentially told us what they think of them as well. It's pretty.
I can't wait to see it.
These are pretty wild. So I was looking through those last night, and it is and the Vanity Fair photographer defends his extreme close-up of Caroline Leavitt. It's harsh. I mean, she's in her 20s, like late 20s. I'm 54, and I was like, I should take a picture and see if that. But you can see the marks for each injection of Botox along the top, along the line of her top.
gosh.
It's like glossy and no touch up, no lighting,
So
no,
I'm glad
no
I didn't,
grace
because now I
given to
have
her.
something else to look at today, because yesterday I spent it watching.
Yeah, I'll send you the link to how these are very strange photos, and these are and I'm sure that
Tonight's entertainment will be
from Andy, a snippet for your jingle. Oh, the Irish American comedian in a league of her own, upon her throne, the Queen of Norwood Park. Come and see Patti. Oh, look, we've got a list.
I
Thank
like
you.
that.
I love it. I like that, a league of her own.
Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
Andy, that's so sweet. Let me copy and send this to myself.
There you go. That's right.
I can take a picture of that and then do the text.
Oh,
of it.
that's really good.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Andy. So that's what I'm talking about. We're looking for lyrics, new lyrics for the Driving It Home. We will not change the music. We're just going to change the lyrics. Obviously, we need to update from the pandemic and things like that. So 773-763-9278. If you text those to us, I will send that to our musician, singer, songwriter, Steve Goody, because he is waiting for your suggestions. I'll come up with some too. I will. I'll twirl some around. At any rate, let's see what what now. I know you're busy. You're back in training, and you have a family that you're caring for. What news stories do local stories jump out at you? I know we have a lot going on, obviously in Chicago, but what national stories grab your attention?
Everywhere ICE is.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like watching in Minnesota, like that's why I'm talking to the senator, the Senator Mohammed. That's her name, right? We spoke to her on Tuesday.
Yep.
But seeing that today, like they showed, like they're just dragging people, and so those things happen nationally. Like it bothers me to my core. Like those strike me, because I cannot believe that enough people, like it hasn't stopped yet.
Right.
Like, what is it going to take to get them? Like we know it's wrong. Everyone's telling you it's wrong. It's unconstitutional. It's illegal. And still there's people defending it.
Exactly.
So those are the things that really, and obviously mass shootings and guns, because I cannot believe that we're still having conversations about whether those kind of that kind of firepower should not be available to regular people. Like, as a law enforcement officer, I can't imagine, I can't defend people against that kind of firepower. So why would I want?
Right. Well, that was the whole situation with Uvalde.
Yeah.
They knew what kind of weapon he had. They still had, over 300 guns with law enforcement, trained law enforcement, and they still didn't go in there. I do think about this sometimes, and I know that the state has passed legislation about phones in school, which I understand, right? I think there's regulations now, but then these kids that were in Uvalde, like, what if they didn't, and like, we know how long they were alive because of when they were still calling.
Yeah, they're still calling and still on their phones. And unfortunately, it's a way to get information in this state. Like,
yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's if every schools need like an app. You have to have this app that blocks you from all of the other things, but you can still call and text. I mean, but then I don't know. There's got to be something.
What happened to rules?
I know.
And what happened to, like, if my kid takes his phone to school and he's told he can't take it out, and he takes it out and the teacher takes his phone, I'm not, so some of that stuff just goes back to we can't have balance because there's too much other stuff going on.
Right. Yeah.
Just too much other stuff.
There's too many other things going on. It's really hard. And then, and I also struggle with, and so from your perspective too, because you work for the county sheriff's department, when you see the protesters, because Governor Walz is also trying to grapple with protecting protesters and how his law enforcement reacts to that. And that's been something that we've seen in Illinois. We know that Governor Pritzker, wants to, I imagine, protect the rights of protesters, protect the people that, have a voice for those who are being kidnapped off our streets. And we're also seeing state police, like, with the long wooden batons, and it's hard.
It's hard because we're not communicating. And I think that's the biggest issue. Like, I was watching some videos yesterday, like in a little village, and there was this woman going around, and she was filming the Chicago police officers and yelling in their face and calling them names and saying, why don't you go get the real criminals? Why are you here harassing the protesters? And I wanted to tell her, in her entire video, you can see the Chicago police officers that are there have their hands in their pocket, their hands in their vest. They're like 50, 60 feet away from where the protesters are. They really are there protecting, everything says they're there to protect the protesters.
Right.
Not to, and I think that, even she was the one inciting, yelling at them and trying to be, look at, they're here and they're doing this. It's like, can we communicate that is not what they're there to do? They're not saying anything to you. They're not telling you to get back. They're not there trying to stop you from protesting. If anything, do you know how many people are upset that you guys are there?
Right.
They're there in case somebody comes from somewhere else to attack you, to mow you down in their vehicles.
And that's the other thing I think about, right?
So they're there to protect you, whether they want to be there or not. They had the most relaxed stance. I'm looking at these Chicago police officers, and I'm if I was your boss, I'd be yelling at you because you're not protecting yourself. Your hands are in your pocket. Your hands are in your vest. At this point, you need to be protecting yourselves as well.
I agree. I've noticed the CPD has been taking that tact, and let's talk. We're going to talk solar panels next.
Yes.
We're going to switch gears. How's that?
I'm good with that.
773-763-9278. If you have questions about your solar panels with Source Solar, more after this on WCPT, KKNW. And I'm a little bit late. Sorry, lady.
WCPT replay.
This is exactly where we are. This is how we got here because Joe Biden would not play that game. And, Obama did not play that game. We certainly didn't give them the clown show that Trump does. This is why I keep trying to tell people, it's not the show. Mm-hmm. Don't take the rage bait. Don't be part of the show. This is how he got elected again. These people want him in there because he makes them money. He gives them fame. Everybody's paying attention right now. They didn't pay attention when Biden was in office, and he was getting so much done. But they didn't pay attention because it wasn't a clown show. There wasn't the opportunity for them to, cover him and put on a little show of standing up to him for a second and then become famous and write a book.
Keep listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
STIHL. Check off the wish list with instant savings and free battery offers on select STIHL tools. Shop online or in store. Now that's a steal.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. European Union leaders are working into the night seeking to reassure Belgium that they will protect it from Russian retaliation if it backs a massive loan for Ukraine. And Saga Magani reports the Kremlin envoy will be in Florida this weekend to discuss the U.S. proposal for ending Russia's war in Ukraine.
A U.S. official says Kirill Dmitriev will meet with Trump administration envoys in Miami. That comes after Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner sat down with Ukrainian and European officials this week. Russian leader Vladimir Putin has warned Moscow would seek to extend its gains in Ukraine if Kyiv and its Western allies reject the Kremlin's demands in peace talks.
Putin doesn't want to stop this war, but he can if the United States will pressure more.
In Brussels for a summit with European leaders, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he's counting on that pressure. Sagar Magani, Washington.
Trump administration's announced a $10 billion arms sales package to Taiwan. It includes medium-range missiles, howitzers, and drones. It's drawn an angry response from China. And Haya Panjwani reports 5 more people have been charged in the Minnesota Housing Services fraud scheme.
First Assistant U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson said federal officials suspect a significant portion of roughly $18 billion paid out by Medicaid to Minnesota programs was fraudulent.
What we see in Minnesota is not a handful of bad actors committing crimes. It's a staggering industrial-scale fraud.
He said 2 defendants pocketed $750,000 instead of helping Medicaid recipients find stable housing. Audio courtesy of KSTP. I'm Haya Panjwani.
In North Carolina, retired NASCAR driver Greg Biffle and his family among 7 people killed in a plane crash. And sources tell AP police are investigating a connection between the weekend mass shooting at Brown University and the killing of an MIT professor. This is AP News. News of a pardon.
Country musician Jelly Roll, legal name Jason DeFord, was among 33 people to receive a pardon from Tennessee Governor Bill Lee, acknowledging the award-winning Nashville native's long road back from drugs and prison. The musician had backing from civic leaders like the sheriff of Davidson County and the CEO of Live Nation. He received a non-binding recommendation from the state parole board back in April when he talked about how a pardon would make it easier for him to travel and share his message.
Every time I travel, it takes a team of lawyers and a mountain of paperwork to secure my entry into those countries.
After arrests for aggravated robbery and drug dealing when he was younger, Jelly Roll now often visits jails and rehabilitation centers to talk about second chances and has even testified before Congress. Last week, he was invited to become a member of the Grand Ole Opry, and he's received 3 2026 Grammy nominations, including Best Contemporary Christian Music Performance. I'm Jennifer King.
There's more news at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
This is 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and streaming worldwide at WCPT820.com. We are Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter. Now, your WCPT 820 weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from the Weatherology Weather Center. Rain and snow showers continuing tonight, eventually changing over to all snow. Light accumulations, though. We'll see a low temperature of 14 degrees with west winds at up to 40 miles an hour. Brief periods of blowing snow are possible. Friday, sunshine with a high temperature of 28 and winds out of the west at up to 40 miles an hour. Saturday, a slight chance of rain and snow in the afternoon with a high temperature around 41. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 37.
If you're purchasing a new home or refinancing your existing home, you need to call Team Hochberg, your trusted local lender. Suzanne called after hearing me explain discount points on my radio show because her son was purchasing a home in Colorado. I answered Suzanne's questions and encouraged her son to call me for a free consultation. Suzanne was so impressed with the service I provided, she wrote this 5-star Google review. Quote, I sent David an email today with a question about discount points that I heard him talk about on his radio show. And he called me back this evening with a complete explanation. I'm so impressed with his responsiveness and knowledge. Thank you, Suzanne, for the amazing review. I strongly encourage everyone to check out Team Hochberg's close to 600 5-star Google reviews. Team Hochberg helped Suzanne and thousands of radio listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 855-563-2843 or visit 56david.com. That's 855-563-2843 or visit 56david.com. Lower.com, equal housing lender, MLS 112-461.
You're listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
At home with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez. From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing asses says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us as we continue our drive home. As we've been talking to our good friend, guest co-host, Carmen Navarre Gercone, who is in studio. And thank you so much for joining us. She's former Cook County Sheriff's Department and our law enforcement expert. And we, of course, have you. We don't need headphones unless someone calls in, which is we want people to call in. So let me see if I can figure out this headphone situation in just a moment. I thought that I had a way to fix it, but I don't know that I do. I'm looking for a converter for. Yeah, this one probably doesn't work well. Here, see if this works better.
Hey, don't worry about it.
Oh no, it doesn't have. Hold on a second. There we go. That way. All right, that's good because that's Peter Sarelas from Source Solar. You can go to source.solar, find out more about the great work that he does, and join the folks that are absolutely thrilled to have solar panels on their house or business. And Warren Preis, who brought us all together, joined us in studio as well. Hey, Warren, you get to have headphones, and Peter does not. I got to figure this out at some point.
He looks better without them.
Yeah. Well, he's going to have to answer the questions. I can just pass him mine.
Yeah,
it's
true. Well, actually, you brought her here, so there's a bodyguard just to protect us all.
Hey, it's a very good point. This is a very, very
I was
good
warned.
Warned.
It's in his name.
Yes, exactly. So you guys were listening to the show on your way over.
I was listening to the show, and I busted a gut when you guys started talking about having the girls get their ears pierced. Yeah. And I have videos of both of my girls getting their ears pierced at Claire's,
yeah.
Boy, are we going to get paid for the advertising?
I don't.
Oh
I
my
hope
God!
So. Let's try. We'll send them an email.
Claire's 820. Send the check to Patty. Give it to her. She needs it.
I got mine pierced at Claire's too.
At Claire's?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
At the hip.
At the hip.
See,
okay.
Yeah.
That's where my sons went too. Seriously.
Okay, we went to a place. I think around Diversey and Clark somewhere. There was a Claire's.
Ah.
We went over there.
Just east.
Yeah.
Of Clark Street. I don't know what you're talking
They're
about.
going to think we own
did it
stock
after
in
school,
Claire's.
Right?
And boom, you should have seen Claire's and Lily's. I have these pictures, these beautiful videos.
How old were they?
10.
Okay.
They were 10.
Oh. Did they ask to get their ears pierced?
Oh,
or
they
did you-
wanted it done. They was, Dad, Ma. Okay, let's do it.
Ah.
So we went there and they were shaking and boom, they popped it and they did it. They take out that gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah.
To get that gun taken out. That's,
I mean, all of a sudden, don't move. They've got this thing stuck in your head and boom, it's done in
So here's my question. Did they do them both at the same time?
no, one at a time.
See, because my thing is if you do one and it hurts a little, they're not going to want to do the other one.
Oh, no.
Get two people to do it at the same
So
time,
just do
right?
it at the
I
same
never
time.
met a girl who's going to want one earring unless she wants to be a pirate.
I also wore one earring as a pirate this Halloween.
Okay, matey.
To your point about it's similar, but it's I had to have a staple gun to close a cut on my head one time. So he goes, it's just going to be 2. So I brace myself for 2. He goes, I lied, it has to be 3. And I mean like a scream and a hysterical laugh, but it's that anticipation of it,
You're waiting.
now you already know how it feels.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't want to do that again. Yeah. And I'm trying to remember what they put. I feel like because you were talking about how when you get your ears pierced, there's a whole system with the ice, the potato, and then a string. You have to move that around to keep it open.
Because my mom used the actual sewing needle.
Oh, you
put
did
the
it at home.
Well, when I was a baby, she pierced it, but then I wasn't wearing earrings. So by the time I started school,
it was
closed up.
It closed up. So to re-pierce it, my mom, half a potato behind the ear, an ice pack to freeze it, and then she took a sewing needle with the thread at the end of it.
A little thicker.
And put it right through there, and then tied the string in a knot, and then every morning she'd put alcohol and move the string.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So, and I everyone's got a system,
and that's why they're a little off center.
I noticed that about you when you wear earrings. I'm like,
do you talk to someone like this?
Yeah, I try not to show it off. That's why I got the tattoo
on your earring. That's right. You did. I was hearing that. Right,
Peter, do you have any tattoos?
No.
Not even like a Source Solar logo.
You can't put a bumper sticker on a Bugatti.
Oh, look at that!
Well, there we
Peter!
go.
Oh my God! Oh, settle down, Peter.
Nice.
Settle down. I like my Toyota.
That's too funny. Oh my
But
God!
I have 7 of them.
Do you have 7 tattoos? Do you have any tattoos?
No, Toyotas.
Oh, Toyotas. I was gonna say, Patty. This is Cindy from Michigan. Be careful what part of the body you tattoo. The law of gravity takes over at some point, and what was once cute will look like it's melting.
So if you get one in your nose, you're really gonna have an issue, huh?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is
All right. So let's talk about that. So the incentives for residents to get solar panels is expiring because this was part of the big agenda that the Trump administration had. That first of all, like climate change is not real. It's created
really,
by. I know. It's not. It's
like
not.
today. Okay,
Yeah.
It was 50 degrees.
I know.
But there's not
tonight,
climate change.
Tonight it'll be -10. And there's also this disinvestment in renewable energy for whatever reason. So where are we, Peter, with what's going on?
It's a great question here. So because of this, no matter what this administration does, we have a plan. People in my industry are very fluid. Similar to a river, if you put a boulder in the middle of it, we're going to figure out how to go around it. And that's really where our business SoCap is starting to take off.
Right.
As I mentioned originally, Source Solar is the installation arm. So we're the ones who are physically doing the installs. SoCap is the financer. Okay. So what our loophole is around this current administration is even though residents can't take the tax credit, which will make it unaffordable in the now time,
right.
The state of Illinois still has great incentives. So it could work, but it's not great. SoCap is the third-party ownership option. And we are exclusively the only third-party ownership option exclusive to the state of Illinois. So there's many national companies out there who like to come into the market, but things that work in California or Florida or Texas or Utah don't exactly work in Illinois. And what you end up is stories just like this, where we were talking right before the show, of homeowners getting frustrated and saying, I don't want solar because of the way it was presented to me. And we'll jump on that in a minute. But one thing I wanted to put out there is since SoCap is working so great on our internal team, we decided last week that we're going to push this live to a select group of contractors in Illinois.
Whoa.
So what we've decided to do, since we are the only third-party ownership option for the state, or exclusive to the state of Illinois, we're going to hire on a group of select contractors to help sell this, which is going to pull a lot of the market share back from these national companies.
Okay.
Because what people do when they go solar with either a lease or a PPA, which is third-party ownership, is all of that money is leaving our state and going into the pockets of people in California, New York, Texas, Utah. We're all local here to the state. We're only using manufacturers and installers that are here local in the state.
Right.
And we're going to keep all of our money here.
Wow. That's fantastic news.
Yeah.
Power.
Yeah.
So this would bring an installation company like ours that does about 500 projects a year, for us being able to finance anywhere between 5,000 to 10,000 projects a year.
Holy cats.
Yeah. So we're expecting our business next year to do, past volumes. I really expect this to be a pretty big hitter on the national scale, with national companies, national third-party ownership companies really taking a look at us, and we're really going to be some competition for them.
Well, fantastic. So when it comes to people who want to get residential installation, so how does that work with what's happening with the incentives and like how they should plan and look into? Because let's focus on that. We'll come back to Carmen and folks I think are not dissimilar to
No, I
Carmen's take
have
on
real
this.
questions.
Yeah, and that's I love it. So if you're a resident that wants to claim the tax credit, you have missed the boat. That time is up. Your project has to be turned on by the end of this year, so in 2 weeks, for you to be able to claim that tax credit. However, with our third-party ownership, this is a much better option for you because there's incentives that are available to businesses that aren't available to homeowners. And we're in this perfect sweet spot over the next 6 to 24 months. Reason I say 6 to 24 is the big beautiful bill kicks in and your project either needs to start by June. The project has to start by June of 26 or be completed by December of 27.
Okay.
If you're a larger commercial project, we really need to get it started in the next 6 months. If you're a residential project, usually we knock those out anywhere between 2 to 4 months. So that's, perfect in line. We've got some time there. But right now you have the benefit of the Biden administration with all of their solar incentives. You've got your 30% federal tax credit that businesses are able to take. And then also you have the 100% depreciation, which Trump slid in to the big beautiful bill. So in the past, there wasn't a 100% depreciation. So now I'm going to pull up a number straight off of our website to keep this consistent. So a homeowner, which this is going to kind of fall in line with what you were talking about. If a homeowner wanted to go solar with one of our national competitors that do third-party ownership, they would do a lease or a PPA, which costs 9.5 cents per kilowatt hour. That's probably what they sold you. They said, hey, your bill's 17 cents. We'll get you at 9.5. You'll save a bunch of money. Well, when you pair that 9.5 kilowatt system at 9.5 cents a kilowatt hour with a battery, since now in Illinois, since we don't have one-to-one net metery, everyone needs a battery, you'll get charged somewhere around $190 a month. That's $100 for the battery, $90-something for solar. What we have is that increases typically by 3% a year over 25 years. So even though it looks great on paper and you're saving money day one, you end up spending about $84,000 on a system that if you were to spend cash on would cost you somewhere around $55,000. But that's very similar to a home. If you bought a house that was $550,000 after interest, you'd pay about $800,000, probably with interest rates now, maybe $1 million.
Right.
This is our option, and everyone hold on here. So that same 9.5 kilowatt system with a 13.5 kilowatt battery, we're going to charge you a one-time payment for $14,000. $14,000. That's it. Which is
over the entire 25 years?
Yeah. So we do 15 years monitoring, maintenance, guarantees, and warranties. It's a one-time payment. If you say, hey, I don't have that $14,000, we pair you. We have our custom HELOCs in-house. So a SoCap HELOC. We could put you on a 20-year plan, $126 a month. It comes out to $30,000 in payments. Now that $30,000 is going to offset over $120,000 worth of ComEd payments. So
you're ahead of the game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
$90,000.
And if you're a homeowner that I'm not sure where my utilities are going to go over the next few years, I might get an electric car. So I don't want to get solar until I know how much power I'm going to be using. That's very common. We have our prepaid PPA Plus model. So what we do on our prepaid PPA Plus is we'll come to your home, we'll install the largest system we possibly can on your roof. But we're only going to charge you for the system that you need right now. We'll say, hey, we'll install an 18 kilowatt system, but we're only going to charge you for your 9 kilowatt system. So anything over let's say the 10,000 kilowatt hours that you use in a year, let's say in 2 years from now, when you start using that, then we'll charge you for that power at a much lower rate than what you're already spending on the grid. Wow. The worst case scenario that happens is you never end up using that power and it just keeps going back onto the grid and you have this big negative balance on your ComEd bill, which you will not get paid out on, but you'll at least
you won't be paying.
Correct. You will get a credit on the supply side, a monetary credit. So depending on how high that bill goes, you might be able to get, a few bucks a month from ComEd, but nothing significant. But we're really preparing you for the future, whether you get an electric car and use 30% more, 3 electric cars and use 60 to 70% more, or decide to double up your family because you're single right now and all of a sudden you have a wife and kids in 5 years.
In 5 or 6 cars.
Exactly. And we'll be able to build you for the future.
That's amazing.
Yeah, the people that came knocking on my door were so aggravated. Just even
they
with
didn't
the questions.
have any knowledge of really what was going on?
No, they tried to explain some things, but I don't know anything about, I'm like your normal. I don't know anything about solar energy, driving by, so I really needed basic, simple questions.
Was this presentation, this small, quick presentation, simple to understand?
Yeah, this was simple to understand. I understood everything. I didn't feel like I was being talked down to.
What talked down to?
No, they were seriously. They were talking to me like, "How do you not know what?"
So this
solar
is
panels are?
this is
if I've been living under a rock.
Yeah, and this is the issue. This third party ownership, the PPA solar leasing has been around for 20 something years now. I started in the industry in California. I'm born and raised here in the city, but solar wasn't a thing in Chicagoland back in 2014 when I started. So moved out to California, worked for Solar City, which is now Tesla Solar. So it's was owned by Elon's cousins. So I lived out there, understood the business. When it started becoming a larger company or a larger industry here in Illinois, I started working for, I'm not going to say their name, but the largest solar provider in the country. I was their first sales rep here and really started pushing solar. And to people, I'm assuming they knocked on your door?
Yeah.
Okay, so to door knockers, they have this swagger about them. Swagger's not the right word. Persona about them. Like, oh, you don't know this? How can you not? Because these guys are in a very high ticket industry. It's a very high sales price. And that's where all the bad rep comes from, is because people see that you can make a lot of money on it because it's such a no-brainer for homeowners. So they literally start hiring anybody that could pick up a pen. They're not qualified. They don't know what they're talking about. And that's what gives the industry a bad name. And they'll talk to a homeowner like you where you can say, well, how does this work? Well, what do you mean? How does this work? How do you not know how this works? And it's because they're not professional and they don't know what they're talking about. And they act out in defense and aggression. So that's the reason.
Yeah, he almost got his butt whooped. I was that irritated. No, I was so irritated because I'm like, what? My son came up from the basement.
Yeah.
Because he goes, what are you? He goes, oh, we're here. My son told him that I had to tell him to leave. But I was asking simple questions. I said, well, if I get it, let's say I decide to sell the house in 5-10 years and I'm still paying, because that's the way I was understanding it, the way they were explaining to me. It's like, oh, you pay us a monthly fee and you still have to pay ComEd their thing. And, and I said, okay, so if I sell my house in 5 years, who's paying? Does that transfer to the new owners? I was trying to understand that stuff.
And great question there, because this is a really common question we get, is you're putting me on a loan for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, whatever that might be, whatever people choose. Think of it like this. When you refinance your home, or if you have a mortgage on your home, I'd say the majority of people don't sell their home because they own it outright. They still have a mortgage. At the time of that sale, your home is going to get appraised for a higher value. I just talked to a solar appraiser today. Typically, NREL, the National Renewable Energy Labs, and Zillow, they put out this article on how do you put a value on solar. It's whatever your savings is annually times 20. So let's say you save $2,000 a year. Your system's worth $40,000. Because if you had two identical homes right next to each other, one with solar and one without, one of them is going to have a $40,000 electric expense over the next 20 years. The other one isn't. So that liability just turned into an asset. So when you go to sell your home and they run that analysis, you might have $30,000 left of payments and you have $40,000 of increased value to your home. So when you sell your home for that $40,000 extra, you just pay off the loan and it's done. The next homeowner reaps the benefits and you just made an extra $10,000 on it. So for someone who doesn't know that in the industry, I can see how they can be frustrated and say, oh, no, don't worry about it, or some silly response that I probably gave you.
The response was, well, if you pass it on to the person buying the... I said, wait a minute. So I take out the loan, I sell the house, the new owner has to keep paying that doesn't make sense. Like, what?
It doesn't.
They're like, no. And he kept trying, and finally my son came up because he can hear the tone back and forth. I'm like, I'm not going to argue with you in my house.
Yeah.
That's why when Patty brought you guys up before, I was laughing because I'm like, I don't want to talk to any more solar people.
And that's the rep that the industry gets because it's a seize-all, and there's always something on fire in the industry. Of last year, ComEd and Ameren and Illinois as a whole stopped doing net metering. So everyone was trying to get as many projects installed by the end of the year. So every kilowatt hour you put into the grid, you could pull back out. That stopped. So now it's just on the supply side. This year it's, the tax credit's going away at the end of the year. So because the industry is, everyone's running around like a chicken with their head cut off and the house is always on fire. We got to get this done now. The industry typically hires as many bodies as they can who are not qualified to not only do the sale, but sometimes aren't always qualified to do the work, and that ends up in a lot of unsatisfied customers. But luckily, what we're doing is partnering with companies who are here for the long haul. Besides the solar portion that we finance, we also finance the battery energy storage for people who need batteries, and we've got a really great program that's coming out for only $2 per kilowatt hour a month. So if you have a 27 kilowatt hour system, you've got a $54 a month payment. We'll finance that battery for you, and we'll keep that for the next 15 years with all the upgrades.
We're going to take a break here. We are having a board problem that I know everyone. She's like, what is she doing?
Everyone bored? Who's bored? They're listening to the show.
My equipment, there's a screen that's gone out that runs my entire show, so I have to turn power over. You know how I like to do this, but let's take a break here, and we'll be right back with our guests from Source Solar and Carmen Navarre Gercone.
Hey, Clerk Elise, you got a guy who can fix my lamp.
I do. At the Township of Lyons Repair Cafe, neighbors help neighbors repair all sorts of things from lamps to vacuums. Little acts of mutual support that make a big difference.
Hey, Clerk Elise, you got a guy who can notarize documents?
The Township of Lyons has lots of notaries on staff ready to help.
Hey, Clerk Elise, you got a guy?
At the Township of Lyons, we are your guys. Whatever you need, we work to bring more resources right to you.
Check out the Township of Lyons online, Lyons with a Y, LyonsTownshipIL.gov.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Some journeys start small, with small pause and big purpose.
Look how little fly, you sweet girl.
Every great partnership begins with the first step.
Bella, let's go.
Guiding them through the world so one day they can guide someone through life. With shared experience, confidence grows, and the path becomes clear. It takes time, patience, and love. But the reward lasts a lifetime.
Hey, good girl, Bella.
You don't just raise a puppy. You raise a future. Become a Dogs Inc. puppy raiser. Give a dog a purpose. Give someone hope.
Learn more at dogsinc.org.
You're listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
Thank you so much for joining us as we continue our conversation, driving it home. I'm your host, Patti Vasquez. We are in studio with our wonderful guest, Carmen Navarre Gercone. She is a former candidate for Cook County Sheriff, and she's our legal expert here on WCPT for my show. She's guest co-hosting today and brings
not legal law enforcement.
So I'm so thrilled. It's so funny because you were like, I never want to solar panel people again, and I think I had that experience too.
Yeah.
Like we got very close. I think I told you before, Warren, that we got very close to getting solar panels, and then we just kind of panicked. And I think a lot of people have that moment of like, it's a big purchase, right? And it's a big commitment. I think
when someone hears 14,000, as we used earlier in the show, 14 grand. Where am I going to get that? I want to save the 90,000 over 25 years. But where am I going to get the 14 to start?
Yeah.
And nobody else has a program like this. I'm just putting that out there. Typically, when you go to purchase solar, and what it has been in the past, is you have two options. You have either ownership, where you purchase everything, or you have third-party ownership, such as a PPA or a lease, like what we just went over with the guys who knocked on your door. For ownership, the solar itself costs anywhere between $20,000 to $40,000, and then when you add battery storage, another $15,000 out of that. The way that typically works is you do get about 60 to 70% of your investment back within the first year, but you have to fork up all that money up front. So the other option is that PPA or that lease or that third-party ownership that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And historically, third-party ownership has been terrible for homeowners because you end up spending a lot more for the equipment than what it's actually worth. Yes, it looks good on paper. You have somewhere between a 20 to 30% savings, maybe a 50% savings over the course of the term. But with our option, we finally have the best of both worlds here, where we have the third-party ownership option of not being locked into a 25-year contract with payments increasing every year. We say, hey, this is the option, like what I just showed you, that 14 grand, that's what this would cost up front. We can put you on a loan, a HELOC, to pay for that. And if you ever pay it off early, you're just saving on that interest. So the max investment that you'll ever have over the course of that term would be that 30 grand, which is that 7.25% or 7.5% interest rate. Or you might say, hey, after 3-4 years, I've saved X amount of dollars from ComEd. I've been putting this in my little piggy bank. Let me just take this, pay off the rest of that, and be done with it.
Yeah, see, that's it.
Your savings goes up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. People do that when they're thinking of buying a car. It's going to...
Buying a home, buying a car, buying anything that you're going to buy on time.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and one thing that you want to look at it is electricity and utilities as a whole, you don't not pay your utility bill.
Right.
Like even me, I spent 2 hours on the phone with People's Gas yesterday. I know, so frustrating. I'm not going to get into that right now. But one of the main things I saw on my bill was for our shop here, right here on Northwest Highway. Over the summer, we use 0 therms because we have a boiler for heat, but our water heater is electric. So we use 0 therms for 7 months, and our electric bill was $120 a month. Or I'm sorry, our gas bill was $120 a month. And I asked them why. Well, you have your $60 connection fee, and then you also have $50 to $60 for it's called the discount for low income, meaning that if you're not getting the discount, you have to pay into it for low income. But for us, it was $120 a month. And what I'm going to do? What am I going to tell them? Well, we don't want to use People's Gas anymore. Just shut us off.
There is nobody else. There is no one else.
It's 11 degrees tomorrow. I need People's Gas.
Yeah.
So utilities are something that people always don't, that's not something they think of as I can cut back on that expense.
No.
But this is an option which, hey, it is a much more economically feasible option for you. And the reason being, you're producing the power on your roof and distributing it to your home. part of the reason why power is so expensive is because it's an old model, what our grid is. It's, hey, we're going to produce power hundreds of miles away. We're going to send it through distribution lines, which is going to lose 50% of the power right there just by sending it through those lines. And then by the time we get to you, well, we have to recoup our losses for how much we lost sending it. And then you have to pay for the generation and the distribution. So that's why you have your supply and your delivery charges. And the customer is the one who's hit with it.
We are going to take a break here. We're talking to our friends from Source Solar, Warren Preis and Peter Sarelas. See how it took me to ask him. It took me 4 months to get his name right. I'm sure his parents are listening. It's a true story.
Yeah.
Peter Sarelas and Warren Preis in studio with me. Our guest co-host, Carmen. See, I get him. Carmen Navarre Gercone. Let's take a break and continue our conversation on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150 in Seattle, KTNF AM 950 in Minneapolis. We're glad you're all here. More in a moment.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from the Weatherology Weather Center. Rain and snow showers continuing tonight, eventually changing over to all snow. Light accumulations, though. We'll see a low temperature of 14 degrees with west winds at up to 40 miles an hour. Brief periods of blowing snow are possible. Friday, sunshine with a high temperature of 28 and winds out of the west at up to 40 miles an hour. Saturday, a slight chance of rain and snow in the afternoon with a high temperature around 41. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 38.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
WCPT replay.
I worked all day updating my office on what's going on with ICE agents. These are animals. There's video of them tasing a man who was already zip-tied in a vehicle, and they tased him because what? They didn't like the way he was behaving, or he was already zip-tied. Not to mention a 1-year-old who was exposed to tear gas as her parents were running errands, as they were also, by the way, chasing down an 11-year-old girl. I'm not going to say I'm sorry for calling them animals who won't even share their badge numbers, their names, or their faces with us. Spare me for their protection, as though there aren't judges, police officers, FBI, all the different areas of law enforcement and our justice system who do put themselves on the line. We've had judges whose families have been killed in their homes. So you're telling me that an ICE agent is feeling a little bit, are they feeling vulnerable?
Keep listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is often laced into illicit drugs and used to make fake versions of prescription pills. You can't see it, taste it, or smell it. Suppliers mix fentanyl into their products because it's potent and cheap, and the dealer might not even know. Keep yourself and others safe by knowing the real deal on fentanyl. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
Alexa, play WCPT.
WCPT from TuneIn.
I'm your host, Patti Vasquez. We are live with our friends from Source Solar, and joining us, that's Peter Sarelas and Warren Preis, and our guest co-host is Carmen Navarre Gercone. And we've been talking about what the costs of this are, and people who should reasonably be reaching out and trying to, whether it's the tax incentives or the costs and things like that. Sometimes it's not a good fit.
So it's not always a good fit for everybody. And first, let's start this off by solar doesn't work for every home. It only works for about 1 in 4 homes. If you don't meet a minimum size or even roof size, let's say
you have to qualify.
Hawk's house is
I don't
perfect
qualify.
example.
Right.
Hawk does not have a small house, but he has a lot of peaks and he has a lot of valleys. There's a condo right next door, so they cast some shade. It would look silly on his house. You have to put 2 panels here, 2 panels here, and that's not something
it won't work.
Yeah,
I mean, I analyzed. It doesn't fit. I have a gorgeous home. I have a huge electric bill. I can't get it. I don't qualify.
Yeah. So some people, they just don't have a home for it. And then even if your home does qualify, you also have the finance aspect. Either A, can you take a tax credit? Meaning, do you have enough tax liability and taxable income? If you were on, if you're retired, for instance, and you can't take advantage of a $5,000 to $10,000 tax credit, that's probably not something you're going to want to do because all of our numbers show with the tax credit removed. On the contrary, now that we are going into our SOCAP financing, where we do the third-party ownership, so homeowners don't have to worry about that tax credit, you also have to worry about getting approved for a loan. So historically, you would need somewhere above a 650 credit score and a good enough debt to income. I believe it can't be over 40% in order to qualify for a loan. That has been industry standard until we started our SOCAP HELOC, which is going live next week for the first time. We're working out all of our APIs right now and all the technical stuff. But this will allow homeowners all the way down to a 600 credit score to get qualified.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
because
that opens a lot of doors.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. But I know, Carmen, you had some more questions.
I did. I have some questions. I'm going to take out my, because these other people were not helpful. So the other question I had was, how do you determine how many, like a simple thing, do you look at the light bulb, like to determine the size of the system and
so
usage?
If you look at your ComEd bill on the top left side of your bill, you're going to have your 12-month usage. Okay. So that little graph is going to show exactly how many kilowatt hours you used in every month. Up until this past year, that's pretty much all you needed. Now that there's not that one-to-one net metering, we have to do a little bit more, but we have a load analysis, which will show when you're using your power most. We can pull a thing called interval data. That comes right from ComEd's website, so we can see exactly what 30-minute interval you use throughout the year. And that's what a ComEd bill looks like for you to see what that little graph looks like on the top.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to, actually, while you're talking, I was going to bring mine up.
Yeah, and when we talk to homeowners, we tell them, hey, if you just want to share your usage for us to build up a home, you can zoom in, you can take a screenshot right here, where all we have to see is what the dollar amount is on your bill, what the kilowatt hours are, obviously your name and address, because we have to know where we're going to build this.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to share all the other information, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now let's say we determine like the size of the system and this is how much I have to use. Like we just got a pool.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things and why I was considering it, because I'm like,
the motor.
Oh my God, the motor. And like everyone's like, it's going to be hard to take care of the pool. I'm like, I know I'm going to have that filter running day and night because
I know someone who has a pool.
Oh.
Yeah, you also keep it at 90 degrees, Hawk.
We're not talking about temperature. It's a bathtub, okay?
Well, that's
we're not talking. We're talking about the power it takes to turn the filter and keep it clean.
And to keep
the
it
motor
clean.
Never stops
Right.
from.
So I'm one of those.
Memorial Day to Labor Day.
So I am that person, and I knew I was going to keep it on because and there was not a day that motor was not on, and I knew
your bill's going to go up by $80 a month.
And it actually went up about that much.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you were right. So because this is the first summer. So my thing is, so let's say come October, November, I'm not using as much energy. Like how does it store it? Does a solar panel
this is a two-part question. First, everyone uses more power in the summer in Illinois because that's when we're using our AC. That's when we're running our pools. That's when the usage is. Guess what we have more of in the summer?
Sun.
Well, look outside right now. Yeah. It's been dark for 3 hours already. So luckily, that bell curve of solar fits perfectly in line with our usage. We use more power during the summer, and we get more production over the summer. In the winter, it teeters off. Now, there's months like April or September, or not September recently because it's been so hot. But let's say April.
There's
but not because of global warming.
Yeah. No, there is none. There's none. No, I'm telling you, there's none.
So let's say April or May where you're overproducing. What happens to that power?
Yeah, that
goes back onto the after it charges your battery, because we're going to put a 27 to 28 kilowatt hour battery on your home, which is going to store power. That comes out to just about, do the math for you, how much power per day would be about $5 a day is what that would save up for you to use over the course of the night. And then if you needed more power, then you just pull that from the ComEd grid. But on the contrary, if you charged your battery and then you're still overproducing and your home's not using it, that just goes back onto the grid and makes your meter run backwards on the supply side, and you'll get a supply credit. We have customers where it's kind of funny once you get solar and all of a sudden ComEd forgets to turn on that net metering, and we get a phone call from a customer 6 months later saying, hey, I don't think it's doing anything. We make a phone call to ComEd, and all of a sudden they have a $1,500 or $2,000 credit on their bill. And that happens all the time. So when you do get solar, just make sure to keep an eye on those first couple bills and let your solar company know, hey, I don't think my solar's working. We get that call all the time.
Right.
We would know if it's not working. More than likely, ComEd's not working properly. But for someone like you, in your situation, this would eliminate that expense. And depending on what kind of home is it? Bungalow, 2-flat, house?
It's a ranch.
It's a ranch?
Yeah.
In the city?
Yep.
Like Norwood Park area? Where all the ranches are in Norwich?
Sure. Yep, that's it's in Chicago, but it's right there.
Right
where
well, that's
Lawrence and Harlem.
That's where all the ranches are in Chicago. Where else would it be?
we don't need like a location for. What are we doing here with that?
Well, what I'm getting at is, so you have a hip roof. It's one story. It's a hip roof. It's not a gable roof, which is even. Meaning that, are you on a north-south street or an east-west street?
East-west.
So if you're on an east-west street, you have an east-west roof. Correct? Yes. So you can put solar on both sides. Opposed to if you're on a north-south, you can only put solar on the south side. Yes, you could put it on the north. It doesn't produce as much. Being a ranch house, your pitch is under a 412. So you could go there. Once you get to those steeper roofs, you really don't want to put solar on the north side, because if you look at a roof, even look at a 20-year-old roof, the south side is all beat up and wavy. The north side's covered in moss. North side's covered in moss and algae because sun doesn't hit it, and that's where algae grows. South side is all beat up from sun.
Yeah.
It's very funny. I'm going to show you this. I took a picture.
Can you show us that after the break? Let me take a quick picture.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
I have control.
Sure.
We are in studio with Source Solar. Go to source.solar and find out if solar panels on your house or business are appropriate for you and your family and your business. Again, that's source.solar. We have Peter Sarelas and Warren Preis in studio with us, along with our guest co-host, Carmen Navarre Gercone. And we'll continue our conversation and head into the home stretch after this on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and KKNW 1150 Seattle. KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul. More after this.
Hey, Clerk Elise, you got a guy who can fix my lamp.
I do. At the Township of Lyons Repair Cafe, neighbors help neighbors repair all sorts of things, from lamps to vacuums. Little acts of mutual support that make a big difference.
Hey, Clerk Elise, you got a guy who can notarize documents?
The Township of Lyons has lots of notaries on staff ready to help.
Hey, Clerk Elise, you got a guy?
At the Township of Lyons, we are your guys. Whatever you need, we work to bring more resources right to you.
Check out the Township of Lyons online, Lyons with a Y, LyonsTownshipIL.gov.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs.
Union Strong Chicago continues to lead the way with progressive values and in preserving democracy. Your support of the Minocqua Brewing Company Super PAC efforts in Wisconsin and beyond strengthens the fight against MAGA Republicans. You can now purchase progressive beers like Labor Lager, Love Wins Fruited Sour, and the Resistance IPA in Chicago at Rogers Park Provisions, Diversity Beer, Wine, and Spirits in Lakeview, Park West Liquor, Wine, and Beer in Lincoln Park, Logan Square Liquors, and Tip Top Food and Liquors in Westtown. Visit MinocquaBrewingCompany.com for all their Chicagoland locations. As always, no matter how bad our sports teams are, please drink responsibly.
From city streets to political beats, you're driving it home with Patti Vasquez, where progressive talk fuels the ride.
much for joining us. We continue our drive home. Joining me in studio are sponsors of Driving at Home, Source Solar. Go to source.solar and make an appointment with Peter Sarelas and see if it's viable for you to get solar panels on your house or business. We're Warren Preis, our connector here at Source Solar. And
plug it in.
We've been doing radio together for over 10 years. Which is wild. Carmen Navarre Gercone, my guest co-host. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today and bringing so much light and joy into the studio.
Listen, I'm solving my, getting all my questions answered. Like I said, I came in here saying, I listen, guys, we're going to talk, but I do not want solar panels. But we're finally getting my questions answered.
Yeah. And hopefully you get a roof out of it, too.
Yeah, well, and that's what I was asking, Patty, when we were, I know I've had a lot of damage on my roof because of the recent storms. And so one of the things I'm like, I don't even know how they get installed. Like, how do you, should I get my roof done? Like,
you got to get your roof done first.
Make an insurance
And, you know, we're also a roofing contractor. So we don't want to install a product that I know 5 years from now, we're either going to have to come out there and remove it, or we're going to get a really angry customer that insurance isn't going to cover the removal because it was put on while, you know, when there was damage already on the roof.
Right.
How would they know that? They're just going to look under the panel and see if the damage is underneath it. You know, so when we go to a job, happened 2 times in the last week where we showed up to a job site out in Quincy, Illinois, and we said, hey, there's storm damage on your roof. We don't want to install this for you. We're going to do what's best for you. We don't care if the material sits here for the next, you know, well, we're going to have to pick it up now because it's winter. Typically over the summer, we'll let it sit there for 30 days or so. We'll get the insurance claim. We'll get their roof redone, and then we'll come out there and do the install. But we're a reputable contractor. We're not going to go out there and install a job that can't get done.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're not like the national companies that, what do they get paid to do? Slap panels on roofs. I've seen so many projects that should not have been installed because these national companies come in and that's what they get paid to do. And they'll put it up on any roof condition.
And that's actually what they told me when I said, I'm like, well, anyways, I don't even want to get them right now because we've had some damage. Oh, we can put them on now if you need to do that later.
No. I'll give you another example. We had a company that we were going to, that was sold, did want it. There's a couple of things that we had this one hospital that didn't qualify. They had a $30,000 a month bill. We were going to save them somewhere around $80,000-$90,000 a year, and we couldn't get it because they didn't qualify. They didn't have the roof space, and they didn't have an area to lay it outside. And then we went to this other place over on Lawrence Avenue. Mm-hmm. They wanted it. His electric bill was about $7,000 a month. Mm-hmm. His roofs, he needed $40,000-$60,000 worth of roof repair.
A lot more than that.
Maybe, and a lot more than that. He wouldn't do it. So we're out there. We're not going to do anything that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Why? Mm-hmm. But we'll make the effort to try and get you done.
Right.
You know, a lot of times it's not our fault. It's not even the property. It's the person doesn't qualify for the loan. You know, it doesn't always work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's
our finance company won't, take you.
Yeah.
And
because you said it's not like a home loan. Like
it's not a home loan.
Correct.
No.
Yep.
Yeah. There's no tangible security for this type of a loan. You can't sell the solar panels if the guy doesn't pay.
Yeah, got it.
That's the whole deal. You know, there's nothing that if you finance a car and you don't make your payments, it can be repossessed. How are you going to repossess solar panels?
You'd be surprised.
People see it.
Yeah, got it.
So one thing that we're focusing on now is we want to work with Illinois contractors. You know, what we're doing over the next month or so is setting up demos. Yesterday, I made 5 phone calls from people in the industry that I've talked to in the past, have mutual connections. We're looking for Illinois contractors that are in here for the long haul. If you would like to continue your business per usual next year and you don't want to switch over to one of these national third-party ownership companies, please give us a call. Go to our website, socapsolar.com, schedule an appointment, and we can really show you how you can increase your sales, increase your margin, and do what's best for your customers.
Excellent. And that's, again, go to source.solar and set that up. I still wish, I wish there had been a path for us to do solar panel. I don't know how long we're going to be in the house. Mom's kind of, it's her building. Mm-hmm. So I serve at the pleasure of my mother.
Your roof is similar to mine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It's a Dutch colonial. So
I know. Well, when I parked your car in front that day, I looked and I said, nah.
fair. And that's the thing that goes back to the folks going door to door, how close we were. And it did seem like, are we really, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And you also want to work with somebody that cares about the work they're doing. I've seen these national companies come out and they put these Frankenstein-looking systems on people's roofs.
Yeah.
We like squares. Solar panels come in big rectangles. We don't want to put on a big house in, Winnetka, where it staggers the panels down because they have a big peak. It just doesn't look great. We want to be able to take a photo of your home and put it up on our website and say, hey, Source Solar did this job.
Aesthetics have a lot to do with it.
Yeah. We don't want to come out there and say, I see it all the time.
When we leave, that picture.
Does facts matter?
Facts matter. The fact is we won't do it unless it's right for you.
Exactly.
Well, I do. I feel like I need to address what a listener is grappling with because they believe I'm not addressing their concerns. But I mean, I think that you try to go through the process and make sure that it's a right fit for both of you. And I don't want to leave anybody with a bad feeling. If it doesn't work out for both of you, it's just not feasible.
Well, yeah, if someone comes to us and say, hey, we want to get solar, and we go out and we look at the place and we say, yeah, it's viable, but the person who it's for their home isn't financeable. It can't work.
Right.
No matter under any circumstances, because of there's nothing to secure the loan.
And it's also going back to solar is, it has to be a good fit for you. We're not going to come to a house to install 10 panels on the roof. That's not feasible.
Right.
The startup costs and the overhead costs with solar are somewhere for an average company between $5,000 to $10,000 a project. So when you're talking 30, 40 panels, that's not that bad.
Right.
But when you're talking 10, it's way too costly. So that paired with not qualifying for financing really pushes you over the edge. And for the specific listener, they're not eligible for tax incentives as it is. And the program that was pitched to them is the SOCAP prepaid PPA, which they wouldn't have received that anyway.
So for those where the incentives are obviously expired, it's too late for that. So to go through one more time, if I may, for what the next steps are in the months to come for residents.
Yeah. So if you're a residential homeowner that is still interested in solar, or you signed up for solar for a company and you just didn't get installed by the end of the year, please give us a call. We're going to be able to give you a better deal than what you're going to get anyway, because every system that we have is paired with battery storage. You're not going to be paying out of pocket for all that. And with our prepaid model, with us being able to write the depreciation off in that first year, you're going to be getting the system for pennies on the dollar. Like I showed you before, 80 grand worth of payments if you did it on a different leasing system, like a solar lease. If you did it in cash, you'd be probably around that 50K area. With us, battery included, 27 kilowatt hours, plus a 9 to 18 kilowatt system for $14,000.
Yeah. So folks, go to Source.solar. And again, to make sure it's a good fit for both of you. I can't stress that enough.
To really stress this, business owners, we've been talking about homes.
Sure.
Well, this 90% of the show, businesses. You guys are the ones that are going to miss out on this opportunity, because if you have a bill that's significant, and I'm going to say significant is $3,000 up, that's, I think, is significant. Even $1,800 a month is significant. You got to consider where you're going in the future, because if you can sign up and get this done before this goes away, in 25 years, we ran on that one company, Banner.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to save over $1.6 million.
Wow. And that's pennies compared to some of the companies we work with. Yeah. We're in the process of
his bill was only $16,000 a month.
You're saying only $16,000, and
correct, only.
It's
I'm being facetious when I say that.
From what rates have gone up this past year between May and June,
it could be 20 now.
No, that number would have doubled.
Wow.
From what it was, and we're dealing with a company right now in the far northern part of the state. With our numbers, we're going to save them about $48 million in the next $48 million. You heard that correctly. In the next 25 years, because they're projected to spend only at a 2% increase per year. We only did a 2.4% increase in power, which we know it's going up a lot quicker than that. They're still projected to spend about $109 million over the next 25 years.
And this goes back to your question about getting your kids involved in renewable energy.
Yes. What am I saying? At this point, it's my grandkids. What are
about getting involved in jobs for renewable energy? Yeah. What should folks be telling their kids to study, or what should I be studying?
So we're trying to work out a deal right now with CPS and ComEd in conjunction. We actually just got pushed because of the holidays. But what I'd like to do, and I've always wanted to do this, is we're going to get solar on a few CPS schools, and we're going to have some sort of STEM program to teach kids about renewables. Because here's the thing. Energy is an entire economy in itself. Being in the energy industry, you can be in sales, you can be an engineer, you can be in accounting, you can be in some sort of finance, you can be in marketing. There are so many different venues. You can be the guy, boots on the ground, out there with a hard hat, doing the work itself. When you hear solar, you're not just the guy installing, you're not just the guy selling. There's so much that goes into it. It's a whole economy in itself. It's also 18% of our GDP is energy.
Wow.
So almost 20, almost out.
We're almost out. We have to hold that conversation for another time. That's Source.Solar. And thank you to Carmen Navarre Gercone. Sorry, Lady B. It's been kind of a crazy show. Thank you for everything. Bye, everybody.
Hey, bye.
Bye.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8 year old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher.